Greetings, traders. This is the 5th of February, 2021. Boy, how did January fly by so quickly. Wow. Anyway, the point of this recording is to explore in depth the funding company which I am currently engaged with in step 2, which is called TopStep Trader, to become funded. And to answer some questions that occurred to me last night on the live stream with regard to some of the trading rules. And yes, of course, we'll accept your cookies. Anyway, so this is the TopStep Trader account, basic topstep.com. And I thought I would go through some of the various components here and why I believe the TopStep Trader is, or why it's my choice for a funded opportunity compared to the several others that now seem to be on the market. When I first started, TopStep was the only company that offered funding. So the industry in our market is improving. Forex is now a new product that TopStep offers. I have nothing to do with that, but I do participate in the futures market. And the first thing you need to do when you're considering TopStep would be to decide on which one of these funding or combine accounts you're going to go for. And it's quite well laid out. You can choose your currency. In my case, I do participate, even though I live in Asia, I use US dollars. It just seems to be simpler for me. And here are the parameters, and then a comparison of each of the funding accounts. 30K, 50K, 100K, and 150K. That would be the, after you've completed the step 1 and step 2 of the combine and you become funded, then that would be your buying power. And this would be the amount of contracts you would have to trade. Your daily loss limit, weekly loss limit, and trailing max drawdown. So let's look at my particular selection, which is the 50K. Cost me $165 a month in the course of the combine, which is step 1 and step 2. There's a $3,000 profit target for each of the 2 steps. First, step 1 is $3,000. Step 2 again is $3,000. You have a maximum of 5 contracts, $1,000 daily loss limit and weekly loss limit, and that requires a bit of study. That was the question I had yesterday, where I had a loss the day before, and my question was just how they exactly handled the weekly drawdown, because if you subtracted it was a bad loss, about $640 or something, let's say $640, that would mean that I would only have $360 remaining on this weekly loss. The daily loss limit wouldn't matter because it was the next day. But I was not clear how this would work, so I scaled back my contract size and readjusted the bracket to have a much more conservative, much tighter risk management policy. And as it turned out, I had 3 trades yesterday and ended up at 2 winners and 1 loser. Ended up 220 or 30 or something like that dollars on the day. So it wouldn't have been an issue, but you never know. Had I had the original 2 contract size on the NASDAQ and stopped out with the original bracket, that would have been 360 stop out or loss, which would have been $40, $20 more than the weekly drawdown. Now, what I have learned a little bit more about that, and we'll go into that here in a couple of minutes, but this is the This is the combine I've selected, and if you don't want to do a combine, you can do the free trial basically as a straight up demo like anybody else has got. Costs you nothing, and you can try out the tools and the Tradovate and, platforms, etc., etc. Now, I believe this takes you to the sign up, and you pick the platform that you want to use, etc. So my current dashboard, which you can check every day, is here. So this confirms step 2. Minimum of 10 days, which is 10 trading days. That's one round turn. So right now I'm on my 5th trading day, but that could be, well, it's obviously a hell of a lot less than 5 days since the 21st of January. So these number of days are trading days. Step 1 you can pass in 5 days minimum, and step 2 is minimum of 10 trading days, and that's one round turn per day. If you do 2 round turns, doesn't matter. It's just or 10 or 15, but it's a trading day is considered a round turn. And then here are the other rules, including the scaling plan and the economic releases and permitted products, which in my case is a no-brainer. I trade the NASDAQ, watch the ES, and in my previous trading, I traded crude oil, but I have focused on this combine to trade. I think it's very important to focus on a product, learn its idiosyncrasies, its personality, and that works for me. So essentially, here are my stats. I was at a high of 51.313. After that one loss, I drew down yesterday, back up now to 58.47. The low is the starting balance. So far, the weekly net PL is 113 because I've only had a couple of trades in this week, and had the 600 loser, the 664.80. Best day was the Friday before at 737. An average winning day is 377. So average losing day is 664 because there's only been one losing day right here. So that's how that works. Now the scaling plan is important, and that works based on your account balance. So hopefully I can jump here. And we don't want to look at some damn video, but we can see the scaling plan, which is here on the 50,000 account. Below 1,000, 51,500, which is a $1,500 profit, you can trade 2 lots. 1,501, you can trade to 52, you can trade 3 lots, and above 52,000 to the final $1,000 of your target, you can trade 5. That's how the scaling plan works. So, also, if you remember in the rules, was the economic releases and times you could trade. Now they are, that's right here, only trade permitted products during permitted times. And here are your details for that. And again, this is a pretty handy page right here. This is from their articles or facts page, and you can select the different stuff that you're looking for here. But when can you trade? You have to be flat 15 minutes before the close, and you can open again then at 5 p.m. So you have to be flat on at 3:10 p.m. Central Standard Time, and you can resume your trading at 5 p.m. or 1700 on Sunday or the fall, each day. If you hold through there, that's a violation of the rules, and your account is busted. And here we are again, 3:10 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central is not allowed. So this period from 3:10 to 5 p.m. is not allowed on any of the accounts except the swing account, which I have not participated in, so I don't really know. These are products that you can trade. Essentially, it's the American futures products. You can't trade any of the DAX or the European products in the combine. You can trade both the mini and micro, which is quite convenient. Currencies, ag products, energy, more ag stuff, and the Dow, the YM, and treasuries, metals. So, you can, I think it's a quite generous, basically all the futures contracts of the CME, CBOT, NYMEX, and what it doesn't cover is the European DAX, for example, or are those platforms, which is not a problem for me whatsoever. And the next one, what economic releases do I need to be flat for? Okay, it's not a big list, and here is their calendar. Unemployment rate, which is going to be this morning at 21:30. That's my local time because I'm in Southeast Asia. That would be 7:30 Central Time. 07:30. It's 14 hours to Central Time, I believe. Yeah, right there, 7 Central Time. And that, if you're trading the ES, NASDAQ, any of the currencies, treasuries, you need to be flat for unemployment. Any FOMC statement, flat for all products. Crude oil inventories, which is Wednesday at 9 o'clock. Have that on my calendar down here. If you're trading QM or CL. Natural gas inventories, same story. And then crop production for the ags, right? So I trade the NQ, and now and then the ES. I don't trade the CL anymore in this past quite a while. So my concern is essentially then I have to be worried about the FOMC statements, and I have to worry about the unemployment rate, which is non-farm. And that will be today, the 5th of February. And this calendar is available to you as from your dashboard in resources. You can go find the calendar. Also, I use another more in-depth calendar if you want to be real fixated on everything that could have some news impact on what you're trading, but not necessarily be banned by TopStep for rules of the combine. I prefer investing.com, which gives you quite a comprehensive calendar globally. And you can search by time zone. You can set it up for your time zone and what days. And they also have live futures and commodities and indices. It's quite a comprehensive website, free. So great resource there. And it lists the actual forecast and previous. So you can get then also the impact of that particular release. See, it's much more intricate than the. And here you see we have that unemployment rate, which was on the economic calendar from TopStep as a 3 stars, maximum importance at 0930. Expected 6.7. Current previous was 6.7. See here, forecast and previous, and then when that comes out, you'll see the actual come in here. Now the rules for the economic forecast are you must be flat 1 minute before until 1 minute after. I don't trade through the news, so these things are not a big problem for me. But this is a good resource. We know the scaling plan. We know the economic releases. And one of the things that was my question yesterday was the weekly drawdown loss limit. Okay. Oh, come on. There we go. Just slowing the draw here with this computer, I guess. So, following step 1 for the 50, 100, and 150 account, you enter step 2, and the rules change a bit so that you have a weekly loss limit. You don't have that weekly loss limit in the step 1. And what it says here, you can read for yourself, but it says that if that number is hit or exceeded, it's a broken rule. Even if it's in the middle of the week, the weekly loss limit is equivalent to the daily loss limit and is factored based on the sum of the total net P&L in the calendar week. It also says, which is a tip that I wasn't aware of until I did this little prep for the video here, that this weekly loss limit goes away when you reach your starting balance. So I'm still not really clear whether does that mean then that I don't have a weekly loss limit because I am over my starting balance? Or is it the starting balance plus the weekly loss limit? See, I've got to give these guys an email. This rule is updated at the end of each active trading day once your report is updated. So in essence, the difference, but what this paragraph or this sentence means to me is that, for example, yesterday I had say $340 weekly loss limit balance. I could have say lost $400 in one trade and been up $410 in a trade, and I would not have broken this rule because the rule is activated at the end of the trading report, not intraday. The daily loss limit is intraday. If you hit $1,000 drawdown in the middle at any point within the day, you're automatically busted. And here it says that that continues to the funded account and it's calculated intraday. Also says you're using your weekly net P&L on your dashboard to see where you are. So weekly net P&L. So my weekly net P&L is $113.30. That would mean then that I could lose $900 or $890 or $87 more through the course of the week before this weekly drawdown would be hit. So I shouldn't have been so concerned yesterday, but obviously, since I didn't know the correct answer, the proper course of action, which is what I took, and that was to scale down and bracket down to a conservative where I would not have any possibility of hitting that loss limit. And as it turned out, I had no problems and ended up a couple $100. After commissions, $198.90. Now, the good parts about TopStep, which I think differentiate it from the other competitors out there that I've looked into, and I have not taken a combine or a trial or a test or whatever they call it from any other funding company except TopStep. Be clear about that. But I have done a lot of research and communication back and forth and watched many, introductory videos from both the companies and other people who are touting them and going through their evaluation process. Lilu and One Up and 5%ers and those kinds of things. And a couple of things for TopStep that make me comfortable. First, they've been around longer than anybody else. It's an American company. The money's in America, fully regulated. There is no hocus pocus about, for example, with Lilu, your daily drawdown is calculated against your maximum run up. So if you're in a trade and it runs up $300 back to $100 and you stop out, or you take that profit, they calculate against the $300 run up, from what I understand, which that's pretty screwy to me. That's unearned. That's got nothing to do with your trading. You sure you didn't maximize your profit, but you also didn't lose any money. So that one I found a little strange. Also, I think it's One Up has some deal for the combine where, for example, let's say that the balance target is $3,000 and you make $1,000 in a day. You have to make 80% of that the next 3 days for what they call consistent profitability, or you don't, or that $1,000 won't, you don't qualify for the account, as I understand it. And probably the biggest thing to me, TopStep has absolutely no hocus pocus qualifications, wait 90 days, nothing. When you are when you get your funded account, obviously your fee, you don't pay any more. You can take the pro account or go directly to the live funded account. If you take the pro account, it's still a sim, but you don't pay for it, and you get to keep the first $5,000. You trade for sim money, but they give you the real money. And at any point, you can convert to the funded account, or you can trade till you reach $5,000 when it's automatically converted to the funded account. And from day one, you can withdraw funds. No problem. There's none of this. You have to wait 90 days, or you can only take $500 after 90 days. And many of these people have rules which I find a little scary. Kind of seems to me that they may be underfunded. And I certainly don't like the idea of an international or a foreign or some, broker sitting somewhere with the accounts held outside the country. Even though I'm not in the country, I understand the regulations there. And I've had some exposure to the Forex market, and I know what a Wild West crapshoot that can be like. All these guys on Malta just regularly run off with the accounts. Anyway, so that is my feelings about TopStep and why I am trading with them. And what else did I have to share with you here that I thought would be important? Let me just see here if there was anything else on the basic. Oh yes, there are some stats here that I thought were quite. I won't run this video, but I suggest that you go to their site at TopStep.com. This is a quite interesting video with funded traders. But here are some stats that I find encouraging. They paid out withdrawals to funded traders processed in 2020 $2,176,688. I repeat, they wire transferred or paid by check to their funded traders. In other words, those traders withdrew $176,688 from their trading accounts to their personal accounts. No questions, no problems. They have funded 6,033 traders in 2020 in 143 countries. And then these are some, advertising hocus pocus over here. But the Trustpilot trust score is excellent at 4.6. So I think that that's that is quite a that speaks for itself, in my opinion. If they're cashing out 2.1, damn near $2.2 million to funded traders, that's withdrawals. That speaks volumes. So that's my opinion of TopStep and why I'm trading with them. And I will keep, I'll make another one when I've cleared this combine and into the pro account. I'll let you know about the withdrawals and the funded account. But I thought this would be an important video to make. And I will post this in the next few minutes here to the account, to the channel. So thanks for listening. Please subscribe, hit the thumbs up if you found value in these content. Be careful, this is so many people in the videos that I watch make a big deal about the monthly cost of the combine and the rules. Well, if you can't abide by the simple rules, if your trading skill, your self-discipline, your risk and trade management aren't good enough to stay within the parameters the TopStep sets out, you should question whether you ought to work on those skills rather than try to find an outfit that is offering funding but doesn't have those kinds of criteria. That's number one. Number two, be real careful and do a lot of research about how you get your money from this, whichever company you choose, after you've successfully traded and have an account balance. That's obviously the name of the game. We're doing this to achieve consistent profitability, and that means money that we can pay. You can pay yourself for the work you're doing. That's the point of this. Is your financial business, and obviously the point of the business is to make a profit. With that, trade well. I'll be signing on here after a bit for the live stream on the London Open and the regular time trading, or the cash open, at 08:30 Central. So have a great day, and if remember, this is Friday, so conserve your capital.